What was the text? Why was it so important?
He's jealous I'm here right now.
Why didn't he come?
He feels like it'd be so depressing. I don't be funny, but I be still.
He said, we ain't funny? Dump that motherfucker now. Fuck that dude, for real. Fuck him. Fuck him and his personality. Fuck, you gonna come to the show, you go. I don't like that motherfucker, he ain't funny. Fuck that motherfucker, man. Where'd you meet him at? Where'd you meet him at? Where's he work at? Where's he work at? Undisclosed. Oh, so you're saying he ain't got a W-2? One of them jobs. Okay. This motherfucker ain't funny, man. Ain't nothing like money in a Ziploc bag. Cash in the bag. Remember that video on BET Uncut? Ain't nothing like money in a Ziploc bag. All right, I take it back. I didn't know he was a drug dealer. I didn't mean to say fuck him and all that. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but that's true. I'm not funny to people that don't have W-2s. Yeah, I write my jokes for tax returns, 401ks, pensions. That's the people I want coming to my shows. Not your drug dealer ass boyfriend. Don't think nothing's funny. Can't laugh because he's always looking over his shoulder. No, I can't be laughing, dog. I can't be slipping up like that. About that. You're just full of secrets. Where's he work at? I can't say. We met at his job. All right. Well, good luck with that. So. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me before. Where's he at? He don't think you funny, so I had to come by myself. How lame. Right. He's not on speaker, is he? I ain't trying to die in Indianapolis, motherfucker. I'll be damned, but I'm gonna die. If I die, I ain't gonna be in Indianapolis. So what are you gonna tell him after the show? He was funny. I liked him. Think about, I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit. The good thing is we're recording, so I'm damn sure posting this shit in the morning when I leave. I'm not gonna post it while I'm still in Indianapolis, no. But when I leave Indianapolis, I'm gonna post this. Because most drug dealers don't have passports. You're gonna have to find me. Do you have children with him? Oh, okay. So you can still get out of it. You're not tied to him or anything, you know? You can still you got kids, it's hard to break up. I know, but if you don't, let that motherfucker go, man. Why does it sound like she fell? It sounded like one of the people that were hanging on the side of the mountain. What kind of laugh? It was so delayed and long. How are you? How are you two? You good? All right. Happy couple.
10 years.
10 married?
No, we've been together for 10 years. Been married for 2.
Okay, so been together 10, married 2.
A lot of money.
What did? The wedding? The wedding cost a lot? How like that's why it took 8. You had to put everything on layaway 1 year at a time. Okay, we're gonna get the dress now, the venue next year. And I gotta get the reception hall, and I gotta get catering. You pay for everything 1 year at a time. It's actually kind of smart. I ain't gonna lie. That's smart. You had a big wedding?
She's older than me.
She older than you?
I'm 34, she's 46.
Damn, you put a lot of information out there. This motherfucker don't say shit. This motherfucker share everything. He just put it all out there. You know, I'm a Capricorn. She's a Sagittarius. I got 3 brothers and sisters. One of them's half. Where'd you guys meet at 10 years ago?
At our job.
At her job?
We work with kids with behavior issues.
With what issues?
Behavior.
Behavior issues. Oh, you was both working there?
Yeah.
Dang. And so you probably just saw her in a room, be like, this motherfucker right here, man. Oh, disrespecting me and shit. You talking about Terry? Yeah, what's Terry, man? What the fuck wrong with that little kid? He been through a lot. So God, I'm gonna choke that motherfucker Terry. Don't choke Terry. It's funny. Did you guys ever like at the facility? Like the kids leave, you're like, fuck it. I gotta let this load off. Come on. Hurry up. I'm all stressed out. Motherfucking kids. Never at a facility. It's exciting though, you know, it would have been. Fucking your job. I've worked at a comedy club before. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been doing this 25 years. Yeah. It hasn't happened a lot, but I've at comedy clubs before. You're right in the green room. Knocking it down. Give it up for Gary Owen. Oh, shit. What's going on, Indianapolis? Ooh, I'm tired, boy. That's the funniest shit. And then you see the girl going to her seat. Like, the GM be like, she said you got her bill? Yeah, I got it. Don't worry about it. That was a long time ago. I'm too tired of this shit now. I'm old. And you guys, how you two know each other?
Work friends.
Everybody met at work in this motherfucking work. Where'd you guys work at? Well, there's a bunch of fucking liars at this show, I'll tell you that. How do you get tongue-tied? Well, we work for a speech therapist, we stutter. Sunoco, we're a gas company. Where? Geico. Insurance. That was easy. Did you guys come up with that lie on the way here? Look, if he asks, we work at Geico. It took you a minute. He was like, we work at Geico. What was that? You guys still work there?
I do.
So what do you do at Geico? You do one we call? Huh?
Claims.
So when people get in a wreck, and you put them through all that shit because you don't want to pay them. Okay, so the ice.
Pay what we owe.
I can't stand it with you insurance motherfuckers. You make us feel like we wrong. You had a red light motherfucker rear end you, boom! You called Geico, so you wasn't going nowhere. So it was red, it wasn't yellow, it wasn't green. No, I just said I was sitting at a red light. All right. What kind of car is it? What are the damages? You got a police report? You got a camera? it, I'm just gonna pay for it. Fuck this shit. Asking too many goddamn questions over at Geico. You were way unfriendlier than that little lizard on the commercial. Put the lizard on the phone. I'm gonna talk to the lizard. I'm trying to talk to you. I got a lot of good memories in Indianapolis. I've been coming here for years. I got jumped in Indy one time. Straight up. Straight up. Place called Tiki Bob's. That place. I'm glad it shut down. Bitch-ass motherfucking security at Tiki Bob's. Trying to fuck me up. Fuck you, Tiki Bob. It's crazy how it happened too, because this is a true story. This ain't really a joke. I'm just going to tell a story since we're here. So you guys are sharing with me. I can share with you. So I think this is like 2018. It was 2018, and I had a show at, is there a theater called Old National Theater? Okay, so I had a show at Old National Theater. It was a Thursday night, and when my show was over, it was in March, I wanted to go watch the NCAA tournament basketball games. So somebody told me, they got, yo, there's a place downtown, they got TVs in the back. It was called Tiki Bob's. And I guess when we got there like 10 o'clock, nobody was there, and we was in this very back room where there was TVs. So I'm just watching the basketball game, have a couple of drinks with the other comedians on the show, and then the game's over. I remember we was in St. Louis the next day. My flight was at 6 a.m. I said, we gotta get out of here. We go to leave, and that place is packed now. It's like 12:30, and it was Black Night. Thursday was Black Night. And I'm just saying, I didn't know. I thought, oh, is this a black club? They go, no, this is Black Night. I go, oh, okay. So I'm trying to get through the crowd to get to the door, right? And I'm walking, and all of a sudden the one white girl in the whole goddamn club pushes my shoulder. She's like, boom. I was like, and I thought she was kidding. I thought she might have recognized me or something. So I turned around, I went, right? So I'm laughing. All of a sudden, the big security dude next to her was like, you gone. I said, yeah, we're leaving. So he grabbed me by my shirt and had my arm, and he was escorting me out like this. As I'm getting escorted out, though, now all the black people are starting to recognize me. So I'm getting kicked out and taking selfies at the same time. Like, so he's tracking me out. Then we get to the door, the motherfucker just pushes me like boom, right? And then I'm stumbled, and that's when I turned around, and my opener, I didn't know they were choking him as they was kicking me out. Because I guess he had hit the back of the bouncer, was like, hey man, you ain't got to do that, we leaving. And I guess another bouncer came behind him and choked him, and when I turned around, my opener was just falling. Boom! Hit his head on the concrete, he was knocked. And to his credit, that motherfucker got knocked out, but he was still smiling. He was like... So now everybody got their phones out. You know, I was like, oh, fuck. They're taking videos and shit. So I told everybody, I said, yo, can you guys put your phones away? I'll do Snapchat videos. I'll do pictures, whatever you want. So everybody was like, all right. They deleted it. I took about 30 Snapchats and shit. There was 2 cops outside of Tiki Bob's, and I said, yo, you just gonna let this happen? They go, we didn't see nothing. We just saw your boy get knocked out. I go, oh, so that's how they do it in India, huh? So I called 911. I did some white shit, something your boyfriend wouldn't do. Because I'm looking out for my homeboy. So I call 911, and as I'm waiting on 911 to come, the manager now comes out, right? So the manager, we go across the street, and I'm talking to him like, yo, you guys are out of control. We ain't like this. We don't fight nobody. We were leaving anyways. And he was like, that bouncer, I've been working with him for 15 years. I trust him with my kids. He said, the bouncer said that I hit a girl. He said you hit that girl. I said, I ain't never hit a dude in my life, let alone a girl. And he was like, I'm just saying, he said you hit a girl. I was like, all right, well, can you explain this to me then? If I hit a girl, why is the black guy knocked out? And he went, he sound like you and you. He was like, well, you want to come back in? I was like, no, I don't. And now the ambulance pulled up. The other new cops showed up. So now I'm trying to give the statement to the new cops, and the other two cops, now they're trying to chime in. No, we got it. I said, no, I'm sorry, officer. I tried to talk to you earlier. I'm going to handle this now. So I gave them the statement and everything, and they took all my shit, and I left, and then my opener ended up being all right and everything. He was at the hospital. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. He ended up being all right. But do you guys know who Amp Harris is? Yeah. So Amp found out. The next day I shot him a text. I go, yo, your city's fucking up. And then Amp called me. Amp got me on the phone with the owner. The owner was like, we know what happened. We didn't realize it was you. And I was like, all right. And then, long story short, we settled. We settled for a substantial amount. I didn't get nothing. I gave it all to my homeboy. He was the opener. He got knocked out. I didn't get knocked out. I just fucking give it to him, man. So shouts out to Tiki Bob's for a little bit of cash. Yeah, that was fucked up, man. I'm glad that place shut down. That was whack. You didn't like it? Oh, your boyfriend used to run.
That was my spot.
Yeah, it's because your dude was probably running some drugs through that motherfucker. That was our spot. We had the VIP area with the table on top. We had a nice little system going in there. No, it was just the bouncers was out of control.
They were.
They was fucking wildin'. Big redneck bouncer too. All them black people. And you attacked me. I'm like the lone white dude that night. And I'm a happy drunk. I'm smiling. Yeah. It wasn't like I was on some fuck you bitch, motherfucker hoe. I just remember all the selfies on the way out. Oh my God. I see what I never saw a video of that. Like all them people I asked to delete it, I guess they all deleted it. I was because the next day I was on the internet like, this is gonna be out there, and I was really worried because at the time I was married to my ex, and she didn't even know I went out that night. I just went out to watch a basketball game. I was like, if she finds out, I got kicked out of a club and almost beat up. I ain't gonna hear the end of this. So that shit got quiet. So. Shouts out to Tiki Bob. What is it now? Nothing? Nothing. What is it?
Bad ex-ruling.
What, okay, one at a time. Now you want to talk? Now you want to talk. Okay. What is it now?
Meridian Room.
Meridian Room? What's that? Like a hookah lounge or something?
He gave it to his son.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, tell him thanks. Thanks for a little bit of cash. We did have to go to court. We had to get a lawyer. He wasn't voluntarily giving it up like that. So, yeah, he was. At first, he's like, "We got you," and then he was like, "No, we ain't got you." I was like, oh, okay, well, we gonna get you. So. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Whatever they said, I want to know if you want some black pussy tonight.
That's a very vague. I don't even know what you look like. I'm gonna come up here looking like Precious's twin. You want some of this black pussy? I ain't fucking silly. I'll fuck Suge Avery. I'll fuck the shit out of Suge, but I ain't fucking silly. God is trying to tell you something. God, right now. How the fuck did this turn into this kind of show? You got any questions? Why you wear that sweatsuit? We ain't seen no imprint. You want some black pussy? It was back to back to back. Silly trying to give it up. Got me sweating up here. Did it get hot in here? I felt like the temperature temperature just went up a little bit. It's just the way you said it, baby. You want some black pussy tonight? I was like, whoa. I don't know if I want to f*** on that. Yeah, f*** that black pussy. Harder, bitch. I'm trying. Put my hand on my own ass. That's what I thought, bitch. You ever talk about tiki bottles again, motherfucker? Well, this has been my favorite crowd of the weekend. You guys are fun, man. Yeah, you guys are fun. Good time. I feel like we learned a lot. We know if you have f***ed up kids, we know who's going to be taking care of them. If you're getting a fender bender, this motherfucker ain't trying to give up the money. If you need a dime bag or a little cocaine, reach her after the show. If anybody's lonely, there's somebody in the back trying to fuck tonight. I feel like we learned a lot. So,
Hey, Gary.
yeah,
We had all this fun on the Lord's Day.
I know. Thank you.
You got a sense of humor.
Yeah. Whoa. Did you just get here or wake up? Like, what? Oh my God. I thought she was going to say something profound. She just repeated everything I said. Her whole table was like, shut the f*** up, Carol. Well, nah, he wanted to say except for day. It's the Lord's Day. It's Sunday. Yeah, we know, Carol. Carol said that shit like she might be. The way she came in, almost like I don't know if she was like slow or not. You know? Like she goes, Gary. This is the Lord's Day. The Lord is here. Sunday is the Lord's Day. The Lord's Day. Sunday is the Lord's Day. I got here. I'm Gary Owen. Thanks for coming to see me. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Good night. What's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. You can listen to this on YouTube, which is very interactive. Go to my YouTube page, which is youtube.com/GaryOwenCom, or go to iTunes, search Gary Owen, #GetSome, or search United We Cast, and share it, listen to it. It's the funniest podcast out there. I'm not just saying that because I'm on it, but I am. Hey, you ain't got confidence in yourself. Who's gonna have confidence in you? I'm in a great mood because one, city's gonna be live because the we're coming off a win and it's Steeler week, and I'm at the Taft Theater in Cincinnati this week. And for me, it's a big deal because every time I've come to Cincinnati, I've done the comedy clubs here. They got a Funny Bone, so I've always done the Funny Bone. And if I ever did do a theater, I was with somebody. Like I remember 9 years ago, we did the Aronoff Center in Cincinnati, and it was me, Bruce, and Kevin Hart. And Bruce was the headliner, and I hosted, and Kevin was the middle. And then I did the Cintas Center, which is where Xavier University plays their basketball games. I did that with 5 other guys one year, but I've never done a theater by myself. Like, I'll have openers, but as far as promotion-wise, it's just me. And so it's a big leap of faith sometimes when you transition from comedy clubs to theaters. And so far, it's been going great for me. And tickets are moving. The floor seats are gone. The only thing left is the balcony seats, which is great. And the show's until Saturday, and I'm recording this Tuesday night. So, we should sell out. I still got to hold some comp seats because I don't know how many of the Bengals are going to call and want tickets. But I ain't asked nobody for tickets yet to a game. So trust. Anybody calls me for tickets, I need tickets to that Monday night game, and I don't mean shitty seats, and I need field passes. Why not be greedy? You guys gonna want to come backstage for me? Well, I'm gonna come backstage for you. So, right before Thanksgiving, I'm working with
I'm working writing a book about my life so far, right? If anybody see my reality show, or if you go to YouTube and see some videos, I've been very open about my brother who passed away of a heroin overdose. And I never talked about his addiction while he was alive, because I didn't know if it was my place, first of all, and I didn't want to embarrass him, and I didn't talk about it. I didn't know enough about the disease to talk about it, honestly. But he passed away, and then I'm sitting here, and we're in the process of writing this book. So I worked out a deal with Rick Bucher, and he's gonna help me write it. And so I'm in San Francisco, and I'm with Rick the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And Monday and Tuesday, me and Rick sit down and we talk, and I'm telling him my stories, and we're recording it. And it got a little dark. Got a little dark talking about how I was brought up. So Rick says, Gary, tomorrow, Wednesday, when you come in, we're going to talk about the angels in your life. We're going to talk about those people that helped you overcome, your childhood and all the other stuff that you probably didn't realize as it was happening. So I go home Tuesday night. I'm not go home. I go back to my hotel Tuesday night. And so I'm writing names down and just give myself little notes of people that I can remember that have been in my life. And then I get done. And I always, every night before I go to bed, I go to the local paper. I either go to Enquirer.com or go to this other one called Journal News. Now, the Enquirer is Cincinnati, Ohio's paper. And the Journal News is it's Hamilton, Ohio. It's just my small town where I'm from. And I see the headline is Oxford man, that's the little town where I'm from, gets caught with $5,000 tied around his neck. And I go to it, and it's my other brother. So I got one brother that passed away, and my other brother got caught in the middle of a drug deal as it was happening. The cops stopped him. He had $5,330 tied around his neck in a pouch. And I guess that the reason a lot of dealers and users do that, because nobody can steal out of their pockets, and they can, they tie it around their neck, and it's tucked inside their shirt. So they know where the money is. You can't just pull it off. And he got with fentanyl, methamphetamines, and then he had a straw on his ear, and he said that's what he snorts heroin with. So I'm like, no. And then they had a mug shot of my brother. I didn't hardly recognize him. I didn't hardly recognize him when I saw the picture, because he looked like a meth head. That's what he looked like. I remember when my other brother, before he passed away, I took him to rehab, and I always saw him as my brother Dallas. I never looked at him like he was using drugs. And I'll never forget when I dropped him off of rehab, and we hugged, and he said thank you, and said our goodbyes for 5 weeks. When he walked into the rehab facility, I just saw the way he was walking, and I saw his body. And that's the first time I said, oh my God, he looks like a drug addict. Like my brother Dallas looked like he was on drugs, because I stepped back and I saw him from afar, and he was skinny and he was frail. Skin was real pale. Clothes are real baggy. And he was like shuffling when he walked. It wasn't like a confident walk. He was like shuffling. And when I saw this mugshot of my other brother, I went, oh my God, he looks like a drug addict. And I only got two brothers. One's gone because of a heroin overdose, and then this one. And I'm not close with this one at all. We're just oil and vinegar. We just see things different. And I don't want to make it look like I'm oh my God, another brother passed away that I'm so close with. I was close with Dallas, my other brother. Kyle, I'm not as close. And you always got that hope that one day you can reconcile and your family can come back together. Do I really think it's going to happen? I don't. But you got that hope. But even seeing my brother like that, and everything, my brother said a lot of nasty things about me in the past. But even seeing him in that state, I still felt sorry for him. I still felt bad for him. And then I haven't talked to my mom in probably a year and a half. Like, I've basically been ostracized from my family because I'm not going to lie about how I was brought up. And I still sent my mom a text just saying, hey, I saw what happened, and I'm sorry. I don't wish bad things on you guys. And I'm saying a prayer for the family, but I said, you don't have to respond. And she didn't respond. I didn't expect her to, but she didn't respond. But it's just, I go in to see Rick on Wednesday, and I called him that night, and I said, you're not going to believe this. And I sent him a link to the article about my brother. And Rick, I come in the next day to see Rick, and he goes, yo, I'm mind boggled right now. And I said, why? He goes, I've written biographies before, and I've been writing for 30 years and everything. He goes, I've never been writing a book, especially a biography, and it's playing out as we write it. Like the story is playing out. Like we don't know by the time we get done with all my stories, and I still got to meet with Rick numerous times, and we are months away from even really writing the book and getting a publisher and all other things. But by the time all that stuff happens, and by the time the book's finished and it comes out, we don't know what's going to happen with my brother and my family. At that point, my brother could be in jail. He could be dead. We don't know. It's all playing out like in front of us. And it's mind boggling. Like I'm so glad I got out. I'm so glad I joined the military when I was 17, because what I found out, and I don't know where I read this, but I know I read it, and I'm not just making this up. But when you go through like traumatic experiences as a child and growing up, one of the best things you can do is join the military, because the cadence alone, marching with the cadence, it gets your brain a frequency and in sequence with other people. And it's almost like we have this, it's just human nature. You want to belong to a group. That's why people join gangs. That's why, they say blood's thicker than water, and you will stick by your family. Even when you know they're wrong, you'll stick by them. It's just human nature, because you'd rather do that than be alone. And for me, I was able to break free from my family. And then I joined the military, and, just being in boot camp, I started to flourish and made lifelong friends. And then slowly as you get older, you realize, man, my family's kind of fucked up. Yeah. It's jarring when you realize it, because you will make excuses after excuses after excuses till you'll finally realize, yo, they're fucked up, And even on my podcast, I do the crazy stepdad story, and I'm not going to do one this week because, listen, if you got three boys, if three guys grew up in your house, 3 guys grew up in your household, and one's passed away from heroin, the other one is on heroin and dealing, and then you got one that got out, that's never broken the law, that has never done anything to embarrass himself or the family or anything. And really is, I'm talking about myself, and I like to think my life means something. And you figure you would take a step back and be like, okay, let me call Gary. Let me call him, and let's just clear the air and figure this out. And maybe he can help, because I could really help them if they asked for it, but they won't. Because there's a pride thing that's there, and there's also if they ask me for help, then they got to admit they were wrong. Then they got to look themselves in the mirror, and that's the hardest thing to do, is to look yourself in the mirror and say, "Oh shit, this is what I did wrong in my life." I'm not a perfect dad by any means. I'm sure my kids are gonna come to me later on when we're older, be like, "Dad, why'd you do this?" Why? But hopefully we'll be able to talk about it. Why did you do this? It's just, I don't know, man. I feel bad I don't even know what happened to my brother. I don't know if he's still in jail. I don't know if they bailed him out. I did talk to a lady I know that works in law enforcement in the court system in the area we live in. And I did ask her, I said, because everybody says maybe jail's the best thing for them. You always hear that when somebody's doing drugs and stuff. And I go, I don't always agree with that, because one, you can do drugs in jail, and you can make contacts in jail. So when you get out, you got a new buyer, you got a new dealer. And 90% of the guys that go to jail, when they get out, they're going right back to where they were. And that's all they know. Keep in mind, my brother right now is 30 years old, and he's been dealing since he was 15. That's all he knows. He don't know nothing else. He ain't ever had a job with a W-2, so to speak. I mean, I guarantee that $5,000 was under the table. There was no tax return on that. IRS didn't know about that. the cops asked him, they said, how did you get this money? He said, not sure. I think maybe construction work. Maybe construction work? I'm not saying his name. I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm not blasting him like that. But man, I would love for him to call me and ask for help. But you gotta swallow your pride and ask for help. But I got sidetracked. But one lady I asked that that deals with this type of stuff, and she was like, I said his really only hope is if he gets any amount of prison time, which he probably will do some time. They just got to prove intent to sell. That's what the state has to prove against. They had to prove he had enough on him that he wasn't using that stuff. And two things. One is the lady said, the only thing that can help is he can go to prison and maybe get in one of these programs where somebody that doesn't know his past, doesn't give a shit about it, but he has to hold him accountable for why he's in jail. And he has to admit, I'm in jail because of me, not because of somebody else. I'm in jail. This is my fault. And then he has to look himself in the mirror. And then that's the only way he can come out and somewhat be productive is that, and I think what bothered me the most about him getting arrested was, my other brother that passed away, he was a heroin addict, but he died because the last time he shut up, he had fentanyl in the heroin. The heroin was cut with fentanyl. And they said he was gone almost instantly. Like he went down, and they would have had to find him within a couple minutes and shoot up the Narcan in him to bring him back to life. But they said he didn't feel anything. But my brother was caught with fentanyl. Like, you're selling the stuff that killed your brother. I think that's what got me more than anything. I was like, damn, dude, you basically, who's ever going to take this is probably going to die. That's what bothered me the most. I was like, because I'll never forget when my brother passed, and everybody knew my other brother was a dealer. So you try to downplay the drug dealer, So my mom made this comment. I'll never forget it. And I thought, Mom, do you realize what you just said to me? She said, it's one thing to do drugs. She said, your brother said it best. It's one thing to sell drugs. It's another thing to sell drugs is going to kill people. And I looked there like, really? Like, they all, but she was saying since Dallas died of fentanyl, and my immediate family, that's all they were focused on. It wasn't healing. It wasn't, let's try to help. It was, we got to find the drug dealer that sold Dallas these drugs. That's what we got to do. And I'm like, you might as well go to Mexico, because, most likely it was his boy that sold it to him or gave it to him that probably didn't know. I mean, you run in those circles, that's what it is. It was probably somebody that didn't, and they'll never admit it. Whoever gave him that heroin, they're not going to admit it. And I didn't realize this either. When heroin addicts, when they hear about somebody overdosing, you would think they would run from that. Like, who sold him that? I want no part of that. No, it's the opposite. When they hear about somebody overdosing, they want that shit because they think, oh, that guy just shot up too much. I can handle it, but that's the good shit right there. That's how warped the addicts think. That's what's amazing to me. It was an odd week because I'm not close with my brother. I still teared up a little bit when I saw the article initially, and I remember walking around my hotel room, just pacing for like 30 minutes, and I was gathering my thoughts, and I was really like, God damn, man. I was like, would somebody just call and ask for help, or would somebody just? I wish somebody else would just pull them aside and be like, yo, you guys are fucking up. You got a son that's decent and can help you, has the resources to help you. But I mean, you got to want the help. But no, you just want to keep blaming everybody else of why it's happening. I mean, at some point, you got, two of your boys, are heroin addicts. Come on now. It's just, it's frustrating. And especially when you gotta, and it's their dad, but you just know how he is. He's abusive. I know how he is. And it'll be in the book. Trust. Everything's going to be in the book. I promise you that. So it's just a little frustrating week, man. It's frustrating because what I don't want to get that phone call again saying your other brother died. I don't want that. Nobody wants. I don't want to be like, yeah, I had two brothers. I don't want to go to the cemetery and see my brothers next to each other. Jesus Christ, man. Just kind of sucks, especially when it can be prevented, So anyways, I don't want to bring the whole podcast down, but it was jarring that and I think just the timing of it. Like I just happened to be meeting with the writers and we were talking about my other brother dying and the heroin. And he said, Rick's like, dude, tomorrow you come in with angels. We gotta have some bright spots. And we gotta have some laughter and you are a comedian. It has to be a positive spin. We can't just be like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. Nobody wants to read that book. That book, they're gonna be like, this book sucks. We got to find out why he was able to get out. So, and then to go home that night and then to think, okay, I'm writing on all these good people in my life. This dude, Mike Heineman and Paul Johnson and Melford Edwards and all these guys names that have helped me along my way as a kid. And then just to get online, and I don't even know why I clicked on it. It just because I said, I know somebody from Oxford. My hometown is Oxford, Ohio. It's just a small town. So you see that, you're like, oh, okay, I might know somebody. And then when I tell you, I did not know that was my brother at first. I said, man, that guy kind of looks like my brother. And then to see his name, I said, no way. No way. I'm not going to completely give up hope, but do I think they're going to call? No. And they're probably mad I'm talking about this on my podcast because around this area, this Ohio, almost Appalachia, Rust Belt area, if your family does something wrong, you don't talk. You don't share your family secrets with nobody. But my thing is, so if there is child abuse, you just going to let that child carry that burden with him his whole life? No, you got to talk about it. And then you can start to heal. Then other people know they can talk about it. Because it happens more often than we think. Because when my brother first died, my focus was to help people in rehab and heroin addicts and everything else. And then I went, whoa. I said, you know what? I want to help kids before they do the heroin. I want to talk to schools and try to meet with kids and just honestly make them laugh, hopefully make them smile. I always say my goal in life is just to enter a room. And when I leave the room, people are in a better mood than when I got there, whether it's stand up, whether I'm at Starbucks, I don't care. That's what I want to do. So hopefully when my focus is like, let's get to the kids before they decide to go to heroin, because Chris Herron, an ex-NBA player who was a heroin addict, who goes around speaking to schools now, he said, whenever you see drug addicts, the golden rule, we focus on the worst day and not the first day. And that's always stuck with me, man. And that is so true. We always want to look at the addict, but I always look at what got him to that point. It's almost like when you see homeless people, you see crazy people in the streets talking to themselves. I'd be looking at him like, that was a 4-year-old kid at one point. That dude probably had his shit together at one point. At what point did he check out? Like, what brought him to that point that he checked out? I always wonder that when I see people like that. I'm like, what? And the first day, like, when did the signs come that he just checked out? Because we've all seen those people that are just talking to themselves crazy on the sidewalk. Like, when did that happen? What point did that happen? We never talk about that though. We just want to make fun of the people that are acting crazy on the sidewalk. So anyways, Bengals won 5-6. We beat the Browns. A lot of people might be like, it's the Browns, but we beat them like you're supposed to beat them. And Joe Mixon finally had a good day. The offensive line finally opened up some big holes. Although there was one play where Cedric Ogbuehi, and I finally got his name right, our left tackle, got straight bit slapped by Myles Garrett. And he put Ogbuehi into Andy Dalton. It was right at the beginning of the game. It was like he sacked him and reached over. To me, that's the biggest. That's like getting dunked on in basketball. When you tackle or a lineman and the defense on pushes you back so far that you end up he ends up sacking your quarterback with you in between them, basically. That's like getting posterized in a dunk if that's NBA basketball. But they won. That's all I know. They won. And now it leads to where our season always ends up dealing with the Steelers with a lot in at stake. It seems like every year it comes to this. Like, we're 5-6. Steelers are 9-2. They're fighting for the number 1 seed, and we're fighting just to make the playoffs. And the thing about it is Steelers are trying to say we got just as much to play for. They really don't, because their schedule isn't that tough down the stretch, and it doesn't matter if they win or lose to the Bengals because they got to play the Patriots anyways. So even if they go even when they play the Patriots, if they have one more loss and they beat the Patriots, they hold the tiebreaker. So really, shut up, Mike Tomlin. Shut up, Ben Roethlisberger. This game does not mean as much to you as it does the Bengals. Because the Bengals win this game, one, the monkey's off our back. Two, it's a 3-game winning streak. And then we got the Bears, who's playing terribly, coming to Cincinnati. All of a sudden, we're 7-6. We right in the thick. Now we still got Detroit, which is iffy. And they come here, though. Then we got Minnesota. I don't see us winning that one. And then we got Baltimore last game of the year, which could end up being for the 6th playoff seed. It could come down to that. So basically, the Bengals they can only lose one more game, in my mind, and have a real feasible shot of winning a playoff spot. And I say between the Steelers, Lions, and Minnesota, they got to win 2 of those 3. They got to win 2 of those 3. And then you can get down to the last game, and hopefully the Bengals usually play well against Baltimore at the end of the year. The Browns, I was never really worried about it, even though the score wasn't it was kind of close. It was never like the game was in doubt. It was kind of like when the Steelers play us. The game was never really in doubt. Like, you just kind of knew it. God, and it's just, why does this always happen to us? Even when 2 years ago, it was the roles were reversed. The Steelers were fighting for their playoff lives, and the Bengals had pretty much locked up the division, and they'd only lost 3 games at that point, and then Andy breaks his hand, and basically not the season didn't go to shit, but the magical season went to shit. Then we were like, we're in the playoffs, and then I'll never forget 2 years ago, the Steelers won their last game. They beat Cleveland, and they barely beat Cleveland, and so they didn't think they were going to be in the playoffs, and the Jets were playing the Bills. And the Bills had nothing to play for. And if the Jets win, they're in the playoffs. And the Jets freaking lost to the Bills. And let me tell you something, the Bengals would have served the Jets in the first round of playoffs. As soon as I saw that, I went, God damn it. Now Pittsburgh's got to come to Cincy. And they got our number, man. They got our number. What I'd like to see this week, and I know it probably won't happen, but I'd really like to see William Jackson just man up against Antonio Brown. Let's just see what this, because I don't know if anybody watched the first game when the Steelers played the Bengals. William Jackson had a great game against Antonio Brown. Probably as far as just one-on-one matchups, nobody's been able to contain Antonio. Nobody's stopped him. But when I say contain, I mean, he had just a decent game. This year, one-on-one, usually got to double team them or rotate the defense, or, that's why Juju Schuster's getting all these deep passes. But I've never seen anybody just lock up Antonio like that for like a half. So I would like to see William Jackson just matched up against Antonio. Obviously, you're going to roll the safety over to cheat a little bit. But as far as like one-on-one, let's just see what he's got. I mean, if that guy can anyway contain Antonio, we got something special there, man, for years to come. Because our defense, the Bengals defensive backfield, I don't see Pac-Man here next year. Maybe, but if he is here next year, he's going to be taking a step back, and Williams got to step in. And Dre's locked up for the next 4 or 5 years. He's still young, but I think that's a great tandem on the outside is William Jackson and Dre Kirkpatrick. I'd like to see it, and we're going to see if that offensive line start to click a little bit. You never know. I went on a rant on my Instagram page and was basically begging them to use HGH and steroids. I said, do some legal shit, guys. Come on. Because let me tell you something. All the people that complain about guys using HGH and when they get busted for any kind of performance enhancing drug or vitamin, everybody's upset, but you ain't upset when they balling. You are not upset when they balling. And I ain't upset either. I'm like, dude, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Do what you got to do. I don't care. Because here's the thing. You cannot teach somebody to be 6'3", 300. A lot of that is just genetics, and it's in you. And we really don't care. I don't care what the linemen do. Take whatever you want. If you want to eat 5 guys. Now, I'm not going to say who, but I had a buddy years ago. He was just a special teams maven. Not even going to say what team because I don't want him to get busted. But every time they would come to Cincinnati, I'd pick them up. We go out to lunch, or we go out to dinner and stuff. And I'll never forget. He said, "Gary, can you stop by the liquor store?" And I went, "What?" He said, "Can you stop by the liquor store?" And I go, "I stop at the liquor store." This dude goes in and gets one of them airport, the tiny bottles, the airplane bottles, a Crown Royal. And I said, "What's that for?" He goes, "I take a shot right before kickoff, man. Gets me right." I was like, "What?" So the dude, he just told me, he goes, "Man, I take a shot of Crown right before we run on the field, right before kickoff, and it gets me right." And keep in mind, this wasn't a quarterback. This wasn't somebody that was playing every down. He was a special team. So he just basically was probably in 10 plays during the game, and he was just a gunner. But I was like, Crown Royal? So obviously, he was black by the liquor choice that I told. He would have got, if it was a white dude, it would have been Jägermeister. Good as a Jäger shot. But the brother was like, yo, I'll never forget. I was with my wife, actually. We went out to eat. And we went out to lunch. They was playing on the night game. It was either a Monday night or Thursday night game. I can't remember which one. And we went out to eat with them. And then before I took him back to the hotel, he asked, "Can I stop by the liquor store?" I just thought that was odd. And then he came out with that little air, just a shot. It wasn't like he had a bottle or he was going to get tanked for the game. He goes, "I just take a shot, man. Gets me right before the game." And, hey, the dude was in the league for 10 years. So clearly it worked. Whatever, and he never got busted with drugs, never got in trouble. He's still my friend to this day. And I'm not gonna say what team, not gonna say where he lives. He's black, so that eliminates all the kickers and punters basically, except if you're in Oakland. But that was his thing for the game. It is what it is. Other football news though, it just broke that the Giants are gonna start Geno Smith instead of Eli Manning, which is going to break his consecutive starting streak. And it's like a 210. He had a shot to beat his brother. I don't understand this. I don't get the move. I understand if you have a young rookie quarterback back there that you want to see what he has and the team's not playing for anything. I get that. You know what Geno Smith is. You know what Geno Smith is, and you know what he's bringing to the table. I don't get it. What are you trying to start a spark for? If you ask Giants fans, they're just going to want you to lose anyways because they're trying to get a better draft pick. So at this point, when you get to at this stage, if I'm the Giants, I'm like, yeah, we want to play good, but I'm not heartbroken if we lose. That's what I'm saying. Kansas City started off so strong. Like, they look like they were Super Bowl bound. And now, I don't know what happened to the offense. They can't run the ball. And it's clear Alex Smith we know what he's bringing to the table, but more of a shock than the way Kansas City has fallen off is the way the Chargers have come back. They were 0-4, and it was crazy because the last 0-4 team to make the playoffs was the Chargers in 92. And here they go, start off 0-4, and they barely lost. They were like barely losing, but you could see they had talent. And that's why I've always liked Phillip Rivers, man. He don't quit. He don't care if they 1-12. He's out there talking shit, still in people's faces. I mean, I love him as a quarterback, and I hope if the Bengals don't make it, I hope the Chargers make it. I've always liked that team in LA. I still consider them San Diego, and they're playing in that little ass stadium in Carson, holds like 30,000, which is basically like a big ass junior college. I saw a boxing match there. I saw Winky Wright's last fight at the Home Depot Center. And that's the only time I've been in it. And it's really shaped like a tennis arena a little bit. But I just how are they going to fit a football field? If nobody's ever been to Wrigley Field in Chicago is like that. Like, the first time I went there, I couldn't believe how small it was because there's no fluff. It's just a baseball field. And the stands are right up on it. And that's it. I'll never forget. I went to a Cleveland Browns, New England Patriots game back in 2000, and it was the year before they went to the Super Bowl. And I remember thinking, God, why is anybody at this game? Both these teams suck. Both these teams have no history, and I'm like, it was terrible. And the next year, Brady comes in, and the Patriots go to the Super Bowl, and the Browns haven't done anything since then. But it just shows you how perception can change off one player. I was just like, why would anybody want to? I remember sitting in the stands going, this game sucks. Why am I here? And it was funny because when I'll never forget, I was walking out of the Browns Patriots game back in 2000. And I'm leaving, and I don't know, one guy was drunk. He's a little, he reminded me of guys I grew up with in a trailer park. And he like bumped me a little bit. He was like half my side. He goes, "Hey, man, you hitting on my wife?" Because I guess I got in between him and his wife as we was walking out. And I didn't even realize it. And I just looked at him. I said, "You are giving yourself way too much credit right now, sir." and he was so stupid, he didn't realize I kind of put him down. He went, what? By the time he realized, I was already gone. Yo, I looked at him and I looked at his wife. I was like, really? I'm hitting on your wife? Come on now. Speaking of Cleveland, though, the Cavs are back on track. I mean, you are not going to keep LeBron down. I love how you start a season slow and people panic and are like, what are we doing wrong? Look, it's a transition. You know, you got Dwayne came in there. LeBron always, I think he gives just enough effort, and then he finds his rhythm as far as like, it's almost like what role he wants to play. Because that's one thing I'll give about Tyronn Lue. He's literally deferring to LeBron. You want the ball this? You know, if it's the last second shot, you want it or not? Just let me know. I'm good either way. So now you see the Cavs have won 8 in a row. The Boston's come back. I mean, they were eventually going to come back down to earth a little bit. I mean, they were on such a streak. There was no doubt about that. But it's just NBA seasons. It's really interesting right now. You know, it's so early and there's still injuries, but Oklahoma City ain't really gelling yet. Golden State, we know who's going to be there at the end. It's almost like we know it's going to be Cleveland and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's going to be Golden State, and I'm thinking it's going to be Houston in the Western Conference. I mean, unless Oklahoma City can really gel and put it together, but right now it seems like it's so obvious. It's it's going to be Golden State. You just don't know if it's going to be Oklahoma or Houston or I don't know. That's about it. Outside of basketball and football, the college football playoffs came out. The first one, and it's Wisconsin, Clemson, Oklahoma, and Auburn. There's no Alabama, no Ohio State, and Alabama losing, I'm guessing, is going to cost Ohio State a spot in the playoffs because I can't see Ohio State beating Wisconsin, and then they knock Wisconsin out of the playoffs, but they got 2 losses. Alabama's only got 1. They don't have any more games. So in my eyes, it's probably going to be Auburn, Alabama, Clemson. If Clemson doesn't lose, and then or it's going to be Wisconsin if they beat Ohio State. I don't know. I mean, Wisconsin's 20-0. I mean, they're 12-0, but I don't know if the eye test would say Ohio State should beat them this weekend, just off talent. But you can't ever tell. You can't ever tell. And I can't even tell you the last time Urban Meyer lost 3 games in a season. I don't even remember that. Now I did see a good fight over the weekend. I don't know if you. I was on HBO. Sergey Kovalev came back. That's the guy that lost to Andre Ward twice, and both times Kovalev lost the Ward, it was controversial. I think 90% of boxing fans and experts, they knew he won that first fight. I mean, to me, it wasn't even that close. And as soon as he almost knocked Andre Ward out, I was like, okay, that's a 10-8 round. And then the next one's 10-9. But the problem is, in boxing, I think, when you knock somebody down early and they're really hurt, but then they survive, and then they start to come back in the middle rounds, then the judges start giving them all the close rounds because they're thinking, oh, he came back, he's winning, which he really isn't. It's competitive, but it's just in your brain. You're like, oh, he came back. Oh, yeah, he's working them now. I thought Andre Ward lost the first fight. And then the second fight, there was borderline the low blows, and then Kovalev bent over, and then the ref just stopped it. I was like, what was that? I don't know. But Kovalev, to me, is the most exciting fighter out there because he just throws bombs. I mean, and he's not even he's not even ripped up. He's just this wiry dude. And when he hits you, people just get hurt. They just get hurt. I just love watching him fight, man. He's my favorite fighter. Like when he fights, I want to see it because he hasn't had a fight yet where somebody get knocked out or knocked down. Even Andre Ward went the length of them, but he got knocked down. And then Kovalev had the controversial. He got knocked out by Ward controversially the next fight. Man, he destroyed this dude last Saturday. I don't know who that man. 2 rounds, but He hit the dude so hard, the dude didn't know he should have went down. He just kind of stood there. He didn't know where he was. I'm like, damn, he knocked him out up. I never seen somebody get knocked out up. He knocked him out so hard, dude didn't even go down. He just kind of stood there like he was in suspended motion. Oh, shit. He just was like staying there like, oh, shit, I'm up. No, I'm down. I'm up. That was I just love watching that dude, Kovalev. I love watching him fight. I tell you what fight I hope happens in 2018. I hope Deontay Wilder fights Anthony Joshua. I really hope that fight happens because that could bring I love when people say the heavyweight division has fallen off. It never fell off. It just went to Europe because the Klitschko brothers just dominated. But they were still selling out arenas and having good I don't know if the pay-per-view numbers were worldwide, but they were still, I mean, it still is huge. It's just we didn't have an American. That's the thing. We had no American champ. And now we got this guy Deontay Wilder from Alabama. You know, he's entertaining. He talks shit, but not like disrespectful talk shit. You know, he just talks shit. And then you got Joshua from England is just well-spoken. He's very much like a Lennox Lewis. You know, it's a sport. It's just a sport. And he's not going to talk too much shit. And he respects the game. Most England fighters are like that. It's different, you know. And it's funny. Most of the black England fighters like that. It's the white dudes that talk shit in England. The white dudes be talking all the shit. In the States, it's the opposite. The brothers talk the shit, and the white dudes are the quiet ones. Over in England, the white dudes, they be talking all kinds of shit. You know. But if there's one fight I want to see in 2018, it's that one. Where do you have it? Do you have it in England or do you have it in the States? Because obviously America has more people, but Joshua is the bigger draw. If you're just being honest. But I don't know, you put that thing in Vegas and you hype it right. I mean, who doesn't want to see two big-ass heavyweights throw bombs? Big ones. That's what you want. Oh, I would love to see that fight because that's going to be a knockout for real. Outside of sports, I'm excited, man. I'm at the Taft Theater in Cincinnati, December 2nd. And then my December's crazy. We're gonna post my schedule on the YouTube page, but my December is I'm in Houston, Texas, at the Improv for 2 weeks. I'm there December 7th through the 10th, and then the 14th through the 17th. I'm there, and then I'm in Huntsville, Alabama, December 21st to the 23rd. New Year's Eve, I'm in Dallas at the Verizon Theater, Dallas. It's really Grand Prairie, but it's Dallas. But anyways, Monday Night Football this week. When I come back next week, either I'm gonna be the geekest, hypest, happiest podcaster you have ever met, or this is how next week's going to start. Hey, what's up, Gary Owen? When's the draft? But if they win, or shit, motherfuckers, and we might be the Steelers. Ooh. So, come on, man. If there is a God and there is Jesus, come on now. We get it. We get it. Steelers a good Jesus. How about throwing us a bone? Okay? We got churches here, too. Come on. All right, y'all. Well, this is a great week. And I'll see y'all next week. This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast.